haven't missed a single Kyiv Security Forum since its inception. And this is the 7th one I'm participating, but I'm very pleased to be here sitting at the panel. And this is unique in a way because I represent business, and very rare people from business would sit on a panel at a Kyiv Security Forum. I would like to praise the team of Open Ukraine Foundation, and especially Teresia for putting together such an excellent program at such a difficult time for Ukraine, at the time when Ukraine is at war. Before I grab the bull by the horns, I would like to introduce the Ukraine Crisis Media Center and who we are. Basically, our center was set up on March 5th, and it was set up in less than 48 hours. It was the response of the Ukraine's business communications and marketing industry to the Russian occupation of Crimea. It was an honor for me to be delegated by the team of the center to come here and speak at this panel. I would like to thank Valery Charlie from the think tank Razumkov Center. I'd like to thank Ivanka Klimpus from Yalta European Strategy. I'd like to thank Natalka Popovich from the PRP, my business partner Gennady Kurchka, who is here from the CFC Consulting. And I'd also like to thank a team of at least 30 people who include 5 PR firms, marketing and advertising companies, several former diplomats, national security consultants, as well as many others throughout the world for the hard work and phenomenal team spirit. Additionally, I would like to thank our relentless team of translators and simultaneous interpreters. They have responded to our first call as volunteers immediately. The modern warfare's distinction is that countries use diverse set of weapons to take over the enemy. The Kremlin has used economic, financial, information, and military weapons against Ukraine. Luckily, nukes are still deep in the underground. We hope they're not going to be used. Vladimir Putin is using the Soviet rhetoric of the Second World War by depicting Ukraine as a country run by Western Ukrainian nationalists and fascists. The only problem is that his actions are the ones which are the most reminiscent of Adolf Hitler. He craves for the lost status of the global power. He revives the Cold War. And he's reviving the Russian imperialism and chauvinism. I would like to quote a paragraph from the Economist article, which is titled 1984 in 2014. Russia's disinformation offensive differs from its Soviet forebear in both style and intensity. Soviet propagandists had none of Mr. Kiselyov's exaltation, sarcasm, theatricality. They spoke in grave, deliberate tones, drawing on the party's lifelong wisdom and experience. The new propaganda, exemplified by Mr. Kiselyov, seeks to agitate and mobilize the audience, to stir hatred and fear. Wearing a tight suit, he paces up and down, gesticulating and accentuating his words, then drilling them home with a sadistic smile. It is close in style to Orwell's 2 Minutes Hate, stretched to more than 30. The Kremlin is carrying out a comprehensive propaganda campaign using all possible channels and avenues. Russian state-owned mass media, spearheaded by Russia Today, business communications firms such as the US firm Ketchum or the Brussels-based G+, a diverse network of Russian spy agents, lobbyists. Russia doles out millions on a daily basis to bribe Western journalists, academia, political commentators, making donations to various parties. Gazprom's office in London is on a roadshow. They visit investment bankers, private equity firms, hedge funds, and they talk about Ukraine as a failure state. Russia hired numerous outfits globally to conduct a cultivation exercise, which include planting Putin-friendly articles in the lifestyle magazines and tabloids, local radio stations, generating letters to local mass media and members of parliament. Russia has even undertaken a campaign to reach out to the taxi drivers globally, who were fed with 2 key messages. Crimea was never part of Ukraine, and Ukraine never cared about Crimea. This is what taxi drivers are talking about in the various capitals of the world. Luckily, I have to admit that Ukraine is still winning the information war. The Western world understands everything. The telling example is a 100-to-11 vote in the United Nations General Assembly in support of Ukraine's territorial integrity. However, there are still very dark spots in Europe especially, where Ukraine does not have the support we really hoped for. I would like to point out Germany, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands. We need more support there. Another issue which is very closely related to the propaganda is cybersecurity. It's a challenge. And Ukraine and Ukrainian governments need the support of the Western governments to strengthen our cybersecurity. Well, the biggest threat from Mr. Putin is strong and prosperous Ukraine. So we really hope that the new government and the new president, whoever that's going to be, he or she, will be able to implement the reforms and make Ukraine stronger. And I would like to finish my brief remarks by quoting John Kerry, the US Secretary of State. He said that on April 8th, a couple of days ago. We won't hesitate to use the 21st century tools to hold Russia accountable for the 19th century behavior. Thank you.